Hey guys, welcome back into another video, and today I'm going to show you guys my Tipedo Prime hybrid builds. As usual, if you want to skip to the build, the timestamp will be displayed on the screen right now, or you can check the description for an actual timestamp for you to click on. Anyway, some long-time players have this secret desire of the Tipedo Prime to become a reality in this game. Few years ago, that was the case, and this year, the Tipedo Prime exists in the game. Some players even had their cool brows or the carve-outs to be named as Tipedo Prime, and I am one of them. I did this silly thing 2 years ago. So now we can bring 2 Tipedo Primes for double the fun. Nah, just kidding. Anyway, as usual, before we go to the builds, I need to do some housekeeping. I'm also going to dive into the past for this weapon, so be sure to stick around. Anyway, the Tipedo Prime is released alongside with the Equinox Prime and the Stradava Prime. If you want to check out the drop table, then here it is. It's displayed on the screen right now. Alright, the one important thing that you should know about this weapon is that the Tipedo Prime is not a polearm. Of course, you can see blades on one end, same goes for the regular Tipedo as well, but still, it's not a polearm. It is a staff. And that means you can only use staff stances, which is not really good in terms of damage, bonuses and all that. And also, you're only limited to 2 available stance choices. What's even worse is that their damage bonus is just not that great, and also the third staff stance, which is called the Crashing Timber, is only available for PvP. However, we can still work around this because the Tipedo Prime is a really great weapon even though the stances are not that great. Now, compared to the normal Tipedo, the regular Tipedo, both of them are slash based weapons, which is a perfect synergy with viral damage. The Tipedo Prime has mostly higher stats compared to the regular Tipedo, and that crit chance of 24% and status chance of 24% is more than enough to make a hybrid crit status build, which is really great because it can deal critical status damages, which is really good when it comes to DPS. And that crit multiplier of 2.4 makes it even better for this build, except for the attack speed. The regular Tipedo has 1.33, but the Tipedo Prime has 1.17, which is quite a significant drop. Now let's talk about the regular Tipedo. It is one of the best weapons if you want to spam E. And if we go back further into time, it is a good choice for coptering, because it already has a really high attack speed. If you combine it with attack speed mods like Berserker, Prime Fury, you can literally fly across the map, just like what you can see in Noob Showtek's video. Anyway, we're going out of topic here, so let's go back to Tipedo Prime. Now, this weapon is overall a really great weapon with really great stats. So now, let's move on to the builds. There will be 2 builds that I'm going to feature in this video. First of all is the Rolf Copter build, if you get the reference. This is a build where if you're going to use this weapon on its own, no combo, no synergy, then you would use this build. This is a Blood Rush build obviously, and it complements the Tipedo Prime's 24% crit chance and 2.4 crit multiplier. First of all, let's get started with Berserker. It increases attack speed. In fact, it even gives more attack speed than the Prime Fury. If you don't want to have this ramp up time because it only gives you this buff when you crit, then you can replace it with Prime Fury, but you will need 1 extra FORMA on this build. If you're not going to replace any mods in this build, it will be 0 FORMA. It will fit just nice with every mods maxed out. Now let's go over to Prime Pressure Point. It is this so-called mandatory mod, and it increases overall damage. Voltaic Strike and Virulent Scourge, they serve as 60-60 mods to both increase elemental damage and status chance. Both of these mods combined together will make up corrosive damage. You can swap it out for other 60-60 mods if you want. Moving on to Prime Reach. It increases your attack range, and it is important for staff or polearm weapons, cause naturally these 2 types of weapons already have long attack range. So if you put this mod on, it will benefit you a lot. For example, dealing with more enemies at the same time, crowd control potential, building up your combo quicker, and convenience of course, because you don't have to walk up close to actually hit an enemy. Organ Shatter increases crit damage, and it is extremely useful for Blood Rush builds because it increases your overall DPS, thus making the Tipedo Prime an even powerful weapon. Without this mod, you won't be dealing huge damage numbers. Moving on to drifting contact. This mod increases your combo duration and status chance at the same time. Combo duration is meant by how long before your combo actually resets. The extra status chance from this mod is going to be really good if you want to proc status damages oftenly. Also, if you're running a mission with the Naramon Focus School, you can remove this mod because Naramon has this node which is called Power Spike, which acts like a pseudo combo duration mod because it slowly decays your combo instead of resetting it straight to 0. You can replace drifting contact with a Riven if you have one. Since the Riven disposition of this weapon is really good, it's 5 out of 5 or 1.31, it is perfect for Riven builds. These 7 mods I just covered just now won't be explained again on the second build because it's the same. The only difference between this build and the build I'm going to show you later is Blood Rush. It increases crit chance as your combo counter goes higher, which is really useful in endless missions. Now moving on to the second build. This is what I call the Duo Copter Prime build. The Duo represents a build style where it complements the instant gun switching feature of Melee 3.0. You can use this build alongside with a good status weapon like Zakti, Torrid or Mutilate Sonos for best results. In the future, most Duo builds I'm going to cover on my channel will have Condition Overload, which increases 60% damage per status type that is currently affecting the enemy. For example, if an enemy is affected by Slash, Puncture and Corrosive, then you will get 180% damage buff, which is really good. But do note this is not how it exactly works, so I'm gonna explain it later. Now the way this build is going to work is that you're going to need as many status types as possible. In other words, you should use a diversity of status damages. This build already has IPS, which stands for Impact, Puncture and Slash damage, and also it has corrosive damage. Let's say I'm going to use my Torrid build, which is going to be shown on the screen right now. This build has radiation and viral and slash damage. You might be asking, where does the slash damage come from? It comes from this mod called Hunter Munitions, which has a chance to proc slash damage when you do a critical damage. So now you have a total of 7 status types here. If you bring it into this formula, which calculates the final damage value when you have Condition Overload, which is total damage equals to modded damage times 1.6 to the power of n. By the way, n represents the number of status procs currently affecting the enemy, so it's 391.6 multiplied by 1.6 to the power of 7. You would get more or less 10,511 damage. Imagine if that number actually got affected by this build's high crit multiplier. It would be awesome. So here's a quick demo of me using this build along with the Torrid. Pretty good, right? And here's another one if I'm gonna use Zakti, which is actually the best weapon to go with if you wanna use this kind of build, since the explosion of this weapon actually opens up enemies to finishers, which allows you to instantly kill them without having to worry much, which is pretty good. That's it for the builds. Let's move on to synergies before we end the video. For Arcanes, I'd recommend Arcane Fury or Arcane Strike. Arcane Fury has a chance to increase damage when you do a critical hit, and Arcane Strike has a chance to increase attack speed when you hit an enemy. Both increases DPS in their own ways. It's going to be useful when you're going on long missions or high level missions. For warframe synergies, the usual damage buffing frames like Banshee, Chroma, Rhino, or even crowd control frames like Nidus, Nova, Frost. All is up to you. And that's it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you guys liked it, then be sure to leave a like, write a nice comment, and please consider subscribing. If you want to support me, then you can check out my Ko-fi page. The link is in the description below, so you can check it out later. Thank you everyone for watching this video once again, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Goodbye.